Welcome back to day 3 of my 13th Fright Before Halloween, where we're working on the Halloween junk journal. So stay tuned for the next portion of this tutorial.
Uh, I thought I was finished, and then I've added a few more things. I'm going to show you what I'm doing before I start on the back. So what I did is I found this tag here. Love it. It says treat. It's got the crow, the raven. I haven't done anything to the back. I may ink some of that later on. But anyway, I cut that wider brown lace I had stained in half to kind of really make it tattered looking. Tied that through. So that tucks in behind there with that um, behind the booklet, right? And then I took some of this black trim that I used down here and I added on to the back so I could tie it in with the gauze because I wanted to really make the gauze really tattery, and sometimes it could tear in half. So I wanted something stronger for my closure tie, but I still wanted this gauze in here, which I tied in a knot, and then so I have that. So I added that in. I think that's all until now. I want a tuck spot thing right here. So I took that other piece that I tore off of that one, stamped it with some of the wording, added this 31 circle, and I just folded at about a 1/2 inch on the bottom. It's tattered on the top. Could use probably a little ink on that tattered spot, like that, okay? And then I'm just going to glue it right underneath where the little booklet sits, kind of to the side here. So I'm just putting glue on this back 1/2 inch. So this is how you just build up stuff to make it, do or look the way you want it to. So it's not attached to the book, but it's like a pocket tuck spot down at the bottom underneath here. So I'm going to burnish that and get that stuck in there. And so that's just going to kind of like a placeholder for this little. So it does kind of stick out like that. Yeah, I'm going to glue this circle here that's sticking out. I think that'll make it work. And glue it right there. So that's going to hold that down without being attached to the actual booklet. And so it will still pull out. So I'm just going to keep working with that so that it holds. And I may find some kind of metal thing to add to this to give it a little weight. So I'm going to set something on this so it'll hold. I need something heavy. Pause. I know what, a paperweight. Okay, paperweight will hold that down. I'm going to go look for something metal that maybe we'll glue right here onto this piece here to just kind of hold it down some, and then we'll start on the back. Okay, so I ended up putting another fold right here, and then of course I got this gluing here, and then I found this key and I'm gluing it right here. So we're going to hold all this down and let this dry, and that's going to hold it a little bit better. So after that dries, then we'll come back and start building some stuff for the back. What I've got going on here, this is what I'm going to glue over the ribbons on the back, because I'm going to make a belly band, and I want it to be one that stands up. So what I did is I just cut this. I had this scrap. It was already a piece that was already cut. Lost my ruler. There it is. So this was already in my stash, and it was about 8 inches long by 5 inches tall. And I just did 2 1/2-inch folds on each side. So when I glue this down, this is going to glue on the back. This is going to glue down. And this will be the part that stands up. You'll see when I attach it. And then I'm going to make another book, journaling book, that goes inside this belly band. So we'll have to come up with some kind of thing to hold that too. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this. I hope you are too, if you're just watching for inspiration and gathering all your Halloween bits and pieces and making you a journal too. So let's let this dry, and then we'll get right back on the back side. Everything's dried. And now we're ready to work on the back. You really don't have to clip this in to hold this little book in, but I like the way the layering looks, and it makes it really secure like that, so when we flip it over, we don't have a problem. So let's flip this over now. We have it like this. We have all this tape on here, and I am going to put this down. You know, you're not going to be able to see it really unless you look peek down in there, but I want to cover all this up. So I'm going to take my pokey tool, and I'm going to peel all the tape backing off if I can to expose the score tape on most of this. That one I'm going to probably leave. This one I'll take here and here. Maybe I can get that other one. We'll see. Because I don't like to leave the backings anywhere. There we go. Okay, got all that. Now let's take our glue and we're going to glue this one down. It doesn't matter which side. Oops, I need to put the glue on there first before I stick it on there. Okay, so here we go. This is just to secure those ribbons, the trim and for the tie, and make it smooth in there so that the little journaling book, journal that we're going to make to go inside this will work. So I'm going to center this over it so it'll be smooth so it doesn't hang on anything. Does that make sense? Like that. So that finishes that off. And we're still going to see this black in here because this is going to be just a belly band like this. And it's okay if some of that music paper shows. It's just going to fit in like this. So I'm going to flatten this down. I'm going to trim this one just a little bit here so it kind of sticks out more than I want. Okay, so I'm going to flatten it down. So put the glue on this part that shows, just on the back side of this tab here. So it's a belly band with a extension side in case I have thick stuff that needs to, my book is thicker. So I'm going to kind of center this like here. Well, I think I'll bring it down further so that the book will have more at the top here. I'm just going to press that down with that glue off here. And of course we'll decorate all of this belly band too. And then we'll make a book that goes inside of it. So let me think about what all I want to put on this, and we'll get to work on the back of our junk journal, and then we'll work on the inside. And hopefully we'll get all this done before Halloween. We shall see. Okay, so on the front I had butterflies, and I'm going to put owls on the back. So I have this big one here that says, "Owl tell your fortune, fortunes and stunts for 10 players." So I'm going to glue this on. And I've had this for a while, so I don't know. It could be a Tim Holtz. Probably is from a Tim Holtz collection pack. So I'm going to put this on here. And then I have the smaller one too. And I like him. So I'm going to glue this on. I'm going to keep this belly band fairly simple, I think. And then the book will be inside. So I'm going to put this, like, layer that there. And then I thought this trim where I cut it and I'm letting it fray here on the end. I thought a piece of that just along the bottom would look really cool. So I'm going to put a lot of glue here on the center of it. It's pretty heavy trim. And then on the end to keep it from fraying the rest of the way. So just going to lay it right here in the bottom of, yeah, my belly band. Kind of like that. And press that down and let that dry. Okay, so that's the back of the cover. And then of course we're going to have a decorated book inside, so we'll make that next. Okay, so for the booklet or the junk journal that goes in the back belly band of the main junk journal, I've taken a piece of paper, some of my Halloween stash. This is some older paper from Authentique, I believe. It's about 9 7/8 by 8. Folded it in half like this. This is the print I want on the outside and burnish that. And then I'm going to take my walnut stain. I think it's already got some distressing on it. I'm just going to like rub the edges some more. Get some more color on it on the edges where it's been cut. That on both sides. Don't have to be perfect. I just like to take my ink pad thingy and just run it around the edges. Okay, just like that. Now I have this older piece of paper from a stash. It says Digging It, Excavating Archaeology. It's the spookiest old paper I had. Let me see what this color looks like on it. Don't know if that's going to work. This is antique linen. So I wanted some more color here on this side over here. Just a little bit. Didn't want it real dark. This is where I cut it down, hopefully to fit. Some color here. Like that. So this is going to glue down here. Now, I may want more of this showing. Okay, so I'm just going to tear some of this off the bottom. Lay that aside, kind of like that. Okay, let's glue that on. It's pretty thin, pretty fragile, so if you have something like that. If you don't have something like that, just find some other kind of paper, maybe some corrugated cardboard that you've stained. That would be kind of cool. Okay, so I'll just slap this down on here. Oops. Okay, like that. Okay, I'm going to build up on this. Whoops. Stick it up. Oh, I'm just going to tear that off where it's sticking out. Okay. Messy, messy. Okay, so then I have this orange piece, and I'm going to, it's too perfect, so I'm going to get some. And get up. And we're going to glue it kind of like that away. Glue that on. The bats on the back side are too cutesy. So I'm using the orange with the black dots. And I'm just going to kind of leave the word excavating, digging it, excavating, peeking out, kind of cover up the archaeology part. And then I have this music sheet here with scrap. And I tore it, so I'm going to ink the edges where I kind of tattered it. That's going to go kind of like that. Just layer up different pieces that you have to get the look you want. There's no right or wrong. Okay, some glue on my table. Okay. So I'll put that right there like that. Then I have just this little scrap here of this glassine bag that was laying here, and I just thought I'll just throw that in there. Just gives it a different texture. I'm gonna just like stick that on right in there. Okay, now then, I want some of this gauzy stuff in here. I'm going to put a pool of glue right in here for it. I'm just going to lay it in there and then let it kind of stick out, and then I'll pull it and stuff once it's dry. I want this kind of wispy look. Then I have this piece of this trim. I like that. I'm going to put that in there. Just add some glue on the back of it. Right there. Okay. Then I have this black piece that I have a photo of these children. I don't know, this is a Tim Holtz thing. That needs to be inked on the edges of that. It's cut out crooked. I think this was from Tim Holtz. Now these kids have pitchforks and maybe some brooms. I don't know, but it's kind of spooky looking. I mean, I thought it would be great for this. So then I kind of cut a mat for it out of kind of a lighter black, kind of a dark gray. Scallop punch the corners. I'm going to glue the picture down on that. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. It can be crooked. It doesn't matter. And then that's going to go down right in there. So put some glue on it. And I may have to put my paperweight on it and let it hold. Okay, get that. Let that dry a bit. From some packaging, I had this really thick acrylic or acetate. I can't remember. It's got even a crack line in it, and I just kind of cut it crookedly, like the line goes through it. Now I'm going to see if I can glue it on with where it doesn't show a lot. So this is an experiment. I'm going to need to clean my fingers off first. I've got ink and paint on. I'm going to clean my fingers off some, and then I'm going to see about putting glue on it and spreading it thin. It works on vellum. I'm going to see if it works on this and see how that does. Okay, so I've got this plastic, and I'm just going to put a line of glue and kind of spread it out really thin here on the top and bottom edge, I think. Maybe that will be enough to just hold it. And I'm going to place it down on top of my picture. Kind of give it like it's got a glassy glass on top. Just add to the spookiness, and I'm hoping that's going to dry clear. Okay, so then I have this little witch silhouette. I don't know why I like her. I'm going to put her here at the top. I'm just going to kind of fit her in there. Then I had this ticket that says rest in peace, RIP. Ink it up a little bit. This needs to be, where's my paper? Hold down that, maybe see if that holds. So I'm going to glue this on the bottom down here. This is toxic. And this is just a little ad thing. I'm just going to use it anyway because I want some different texture in there, some words. And now I'm going to let this all dry. See what else I can find that maybe I want to add to the front of this booklet, and then we'll add some pages into it. Okay, so I found this little witch with an owl on her shoulder. And I think she's going to be perfect right here. She brings that owl in. I'm going to put her down here so she's not covering up a whole bunch of people. I did put some foam squares on the bottom to kind of lift her up on the bottom to make the difference, to make up for the difference in the height from here down to here. So I'm going to put some glue on her on the back, on the owl. Right here. Maybe some glue on those foam dots because sometimes I worry that they're going to come loose. And I'll put them way down here like this, okay? So I like the cover of the book. I like the plastic on there. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot. So now I need to find some pages that I'm going to sew into that. And then this goes inside that belly band here like this. And I may have to put some kind of stopper thing down here at the bottom. That's going to be on the back like that. Okay, so let me see what I want to get for inside here, and we'll get all that made. Now that the cover is done for the that go in the back side, the belly band on the back of the main journal, I did go ahead and I put a scrap of this music paper here and 2 of these cutouts that I had in my stash here. And so that's all I'm going to do for the cover. And the next thing is to make pages. Now what I did is I went through and just stacked together. These are, I did have some tea-dyed, light tea-dyed ones, so that's one of those. And to make them fit, I just take them, and they were bigger, folded them in half, stuck them in, and then I just took my scissors and roughly cut. Nothing has to be perfect. So I have a tea-dyed one. Now I'm going to do some things to these. I put a glassine bag, folded that in half, another tea-dyed, an envelope that's opened on the top for pockets. This is some brown paper that I had, another envelope, some Charles drawing paper. So I have a couple of those, another tea-dyed one. This is one of those that the Charles art paper, and I spritzed it with this new Distress mica stain that I got in Harvest Moon, and then a little bit of the, just to see what it would look like. And so it bleeds through like that. So this side's kind of sparkly. Another brown bag sheet, another one of those in the center. So I may add a pattern paper right here. Something that I have that I like. This journal sheet. This is pretty cool. It's green on one side. So I'm going to fold this in half. Pretty thick. Fold it in half. See how that fits in there, like that, right in the center. I like that. Okay. So basically, off camera, I am going to go through. I'm going to, stain some of this. Maybe I've got my vintage photo. I'm not. This one has stain from tea stain, but it's pretty light. And when it's crinkled like that, I can go over it something like this, and also can spray it with some water if I wanted to. But I'm just kind of getting some texture on it like that. Playing with different things. I'm going to leave this one like that. Haven't decided on this yet. So I'm just going to go through. Oops, I set that down without the lid on it. Do some spritzing. I have some other colors here. I have Burning Ember. Let's see what that looks like a little bit. So I'm going to, because it's kind of messy, I'm going to do this off camera, and then I'll come back and show you putting these into the book. So I'll do that. Well, I've done some inking and staining, of spraying of all of my papers, and of course now I've got them all out of order. So I'm going to put them back together and get them into the little book. So I'm trying to decide, do I want this one Just stacking them up together. Bigger page here. I added in this cool old ledger sheet from an aircraft service place from, I don't know, it's pretty old. Maybe in the 70s, you know, that old. Okay, so I'm going to take this one and this one, go with that one first. What that should do. It doesn't matter. So see, some of them I use some stencils, like a brick, brown brick stencil. I have an envelope here that I stained up. Make sure I put the pocket part to the top. Okay. And this one. Some I've left just the tea stain plain. Brown bag. This one turned out pretty bright colored. I don't know about it. Oops. This envelope. Okay, so now I need to really make sure they're folded in half. Up. And then I'm going to stitch them into that book, that little journal. It's pretty thick. Lots of papers I wanted to use. Okay. That's it. Let's grab this. Just going to see how it fits in there. See, there'll be papers sticking out, and that's fine. And I'll open it to the center. And I'm going to take some paper clips here, or binder clips, whatever you have that you want to clip it together for the stitching it through the cover. So I'm using the string again, the black jute string. Get some clips down here. Okay. So I'm going to tie it in the center. So I'm going to put two holes close together in the center. So this one goes through first, right through, and it is pretty thick in here. That's a thick paper. There we go. Really push it. That's why we need a big needle. Just leverage on it so I don't hurt myself. Work it through. There we go. Pull it through. Okay. There. Okay. Now then, I'm going to go down through here. Oops. Make sure it goes through the fold. Up. Make sure it's not catching my little bit of gauze there. I'm going to go through the same hole again. What that does is make a really big stitch right there. Okay. Oh, the paper clips are coming off. Do need the binder clips. That would work better. I just noticed that. Oops. Keep them together. Okay. It's got that one done over here. I think that's going to be okay. Now then we're here. And I'm going to bring it up to the center when I'm here. Go. Up. Then I'm going to take it down here at this side. Bring it through. Okay, and then it goes. Oops, it's hanging on my little girl here, my little witch. We got to make sure that's pulled there. Okay. That is tight. Make sure they're tight. Get that out. Okay. Here, and then I'm going to go back in that hole in the center, and that's where I will tie it. So I'm making sure these are nice and tight as well as out there. And then I'm going to take the needle off and I'm going to tie a knot. Now wax thread is also good. I have some of that here in a drawer somewhere in a brown color. I think this is going to work just fine. I'm going to double knot it. Just like that. You can tie it in a bow or just cut it short. I'm just going to cut it like this. So that's on the inside, the center. Take the clips off. I'm going to fold this up. Pockets. All the pages. Caught in there good. And we have that. And so, of course, it sticks out. And if you don't like it sticking out that much, like I said, you can just take your scissors and you can just trim it off a little bit. Sticking out you don't like. Right here just a little bit. I want to make sure it goes in my belly band. Okay, so that's that. That's what it looks like. Now, of course, I'll be adding stuff inside here, you know, like making pockets. I'm going to do that later. I just want to grab my main journal, put that in for now, and show you where it goes like this. So that's a belly band, and it just holds it right there on the back like that. There's my journal. And of course, remember, I still have the inside here on the front to do. We haven't done that yet. So that's what we've got done so far. I'm loving how it looks. Nice and spooky and junky.
Thanks for watching. That's all for today. I've finished the outside of my little booklet that goes in the belly band of the junk journal that you see here on the back. So join me again tomorrow for day 4 of my 13th Fright making a Halloween junk journal. See you later. Bye-bye.